One, two, three. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah, the software from last night, they're estimating it to be done in about 14 days. So I've got to look at it and improve it and all that. But I'm excited about it. And I'm glad you brought it up because we'll talk a little bit about it today. But first, I want to talk about what's on my mind, which is how to make you some money between now and the end of the year. And to do that, last night I identified a little stock I've talked about in the past called NVIDIA. So that'd be the first thing that we'd cover. But there's a high degree of risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results, in my opinion. Today is a typical Monday. What I mean by that is that the market typically fools me and everybody else on Monday. We were up there gliding along, looking great. I thought, man, we get above 69.11. This is going to be one of those Mondays that you don't want to forget. And of course, they sold it. My pivot number worked. 69.11 kept us safe. And then the market sold off. What got me was how low we went. And if you go look, and we'll do that when we go live, we'll compare what the market's telling us now versus what I really thought I was seeing earlier, in my opinion. Welcome to Train and Trade. Every day from the hours of 11 to 12, we're together. We talk about subjects that are hot and going to make you money if you listen. And today, Monday through Friday, here in November, we're going to be offering Train and Trade at no cost to you if you want to be here. All you got to do is take the time, effort, and sign on. All trades that we do here will be tracked through our world-class T-Buzz Talk and Trade, which is my way of reaching out to you. Inside there, you get pivot numbers, you get stock ideas, you get the Magic 5. This morning, my number one horse was NVIDIA. Go take a look at that one. You already paid for another month of track and trade. DTItrader.com/TNT. If you like money, of course. You like understanding, you like education, it's got it all. T-Buzz Talk and Trade, it's good. Today, after 4, it's going to be an important letter. Goes out as my weekly trade letter. It's $9.99. Not for a week, not for a month, but for a full year. I will identify the 5 stocks that survived today and look like they can make us money this week. And any special opportunities I see based on my experience. My retirement center, I hadn't had to do too much, just stay long. And boy, it's paid us a lot. If you go look at where we are and where we started, we'll have a meeting when I get ready to put on some more options. Probably may happen this week. We'll see how the market shakes out. I'll be looking at my 3-day algo for that directional move. If you join Tasty Trade and use DTI or send Jonathan a row at DTI Trader, I'm trying to accumulate enough people I refer to him that I can go in and sit down with some of the heavies there and get us a better commission structure and all that. But I got to have numbers. Right now, a lot of people have joined, but we haven't got credit or in our group because they didn't put the referral and didn't let us know. But if you join strictly because of me, do me a favor, send an email to Jonathan, put your that you refer, you open your Tasty Trade account, you got at least $2,000 in it to qualify, and then Jonathan and I will pass it on to our contact there. But we got to get more numbers. And I thought for something me doing free, making you 25% would be worth the time and effort to join me over there. Evidently, y'all don't need the money. I love that program to teach you from as a broker. It's a very simple program to use. And just for grins of how many people did open a TD or a Tasty Trade account and use me as a referral, just type your name and stuff in there into the room. I'm just curious. Just give me an idea how many people did that. Cheryl did, okay. Neil did, Lynn. See, they're only giving us credit for 3 people, so that's just in the first instance, we've got 5. They're gonna have to get their act together if they want me to do this. Rob's in process. Good, Rob. Go, Rob, go. Thank you, Donna D. Mary Ann opened 3, okay. It's an easy platform to use. It's great for education, especially if you trade futures, options, or stocks. All right, Carol. I'm afraid that people fill out the paperwork and then forget to fund it. Yeah, I think they, I don't know if they give me credit for more than one if they do, Sherry, but I wish they would. My top stock for the next 60 days, this is important. I've got a number to update you today on that at the end of this presentation. This stock, let me tell you what I have. How many people would like to have a stock that I believe will get to 245 by the end of the year? Where do you go, Steve? Well, I got the stock. If I'm right, it's got about $40 of run in it, and it's already running even in this ugly market. NVIDIA is above my buy for the Magic 5, above my buy for the top 10 tickers, and you know, it's going up. Way to go, Catherine. You make Adam feel better. You know, Adam worked night and day to do that new dashboard, and he was a little disappointed when I talked to him this morning. You know, not enough people saw the value of it, so I'm going to cover that a little bit later. But my top stock for the next 60 days, we get Jonathan to go to the next slide, or whoever's moving these, is NVIDIA. Write that ticker down. I say there's $40 of profit opportunity here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it and share with you what I'm going to do. I already started this morning at 205.55. But I've got a new number I'm going to add to it, so we'll talk about that. We'll track this in our live trading, 1:30 to 3. It's a 60-day plan. Chris says, why have tastytrade if I already have a swap? Well, you don't need one, Chris, but if you want my advice, think my advice is worth, you know, 25% you're investing for free, you do it. It's your decision. You'll be 25% in the hole if you don't, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the first thing you got to do is set aside an amount of money that you're going to invest in NVIDIA. It can be option money or stock money or whatever, but you got to have that up front. I can't set that. You have to set up for it. Okay? So I want you to listen to me. It's very important. Everybody listening? I want you to listen. We're going to pick a stock like NVIDIA, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step between now and the end of the year. My goal is to be there when it hits 245 and see if I'm right. Okay? That's my goal. I'm excited about this. In fact, I just moved a little bit more money into my trading account or in the process because I'm going to go big or go home, so to speak, on this trade. I really see it. Everything tells me it's going higher. I like the CEO. I think he deals well with the president, and I think it could be a huge win for all of us. Now here's where you got to decide. I'm going to buy the stock, already own it, add to it, and do option strategies between now and the end of the year. So you got to say, do you want to do one, both, or whatever? But in any case, you've got to decide today if you're going to do this on the money you're going to put there. Okay, I'll use covered calls for stocks I already have. Okay, I'll work that angle also. I'm going to milk this baby like it's a cow that just throwing out milk every day. That's the way I'm going to milk NVIDIA. Now, long term can be defined as anything beyond 3 days, but I plan on holding it through the third week of December. I'll trade options to 60 days out to expiration for a swing trade. These are a little bit more expensive. How many people know when I say Delta 50? To find a Delta 50 option out there. Well, when I get a trigger, that's what I'm going to use to start with. I'll use a Delta 50, I'll use a Delta 10, and maybe a Delta 30 if I really am making a lot of money. We'll see. They got earnings on November 19th. That will hold me back initially, but I think it'd be something that we do. Okay? So on the short term, I'll use the 72-hour rule. So if I buy an option less than 10 days, or at least say 10 to 30 days expiration, I'm going to use the 72-hour rule. Okay? So everybody hear my plan for taking advantage of this. I'll do credit option spreads less than 10 days to expiration. That's income trades I'll use off NVIDIA on the right days, usually on a Tuesday through Friday trade. Okay? That will be my plan. The trigger might be the biggest way I can help you. I'll tell everybody what my trigger is for more shares today. It's 208.55. 208.55 is my secondary trigger for today. Type that in there, Jonathan. That's my secondary trigger. Once I get past the first 3 days, I'll get a bigger position. Right now, I call this the probing process. Probing means I'm just going to take anywhere from 25 to 40% of the money I plan to dedicate until I get to 3 days under my belt. Everybody understand that? You need to understand that. Okay? Until I get through the 3 days. When are the 3 days up for the month? After Wednesday's close, right? Okay. Keep that in mind. The high of the first trading day of the week is the week start. So today's high, Monday's high, will be a good trigger going into Tuesday for more shares or options. I'll use RB3 and RB4. Does everybody know when RB3 and RB4 are? Does everybody know that? RB3 and RB4. If it doesn't set up, meaning going positive in the reference bar 3, I'll look at it at RB4 between 130 and 3. Does everybody understand my plan? Okay. Since I'm probing the trade for the first couple weeks of November, probably 40% of my total position will be on. I still had to honor the earnings that are coming out on November 19th. The two reference bars that will help me are RB3 and RB4, okay? Each day. Now, if you got option positions, you've got to look at those positions separately from owning a stock. If I'm long calls, that's a different story. If I'm straight long calls, then you've got to say, how long is my expiration date? Since I plan on using December, I think it's what, December 16th, Jonathan, out to December options, I'll use a couple strategies. Number one, outright buy. Number two, a spread. I'll also use short put spreads out between this Friday's close and next Friday. That'll be the plan. Any questions about what I covered about NVIDIA today? All right, we're going to go to a live market. I'll come back and do some talk about the 25-cent trader, okay? And if it triggers at 208.55, I'll put on that December option, one of the December options today, okay? If you don't have enough money to do that, you can do a spread. We'll talk about it. Let's look at the Seven Sisters. Jonathan, I'm going to ask some questions, and you give answers. For the E-mini, where did it open last night?
68.78 is the open of the week last night.
Okay, we're currently 68.78, even with the opening last night, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, the other thing I'm looking for after a correction is I'm looking for a higher high in the current 30-minute bars. Do you see one?
I do not see one yet. Sure don't. Not yet.
Not yet. We're close, but we don't see one, right? So the market is basically saying we're not there yet, but it's running into that resistance where we opened last night. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Do we see one? That's what I'm looking for at this time of day for the NASDAQ.
We have not on the NASDAQ either. And if we look,
how about the Dow?
There's the open line on the NASDAQ for your visual reference.
Yep. What I'm looking for, you don't want to go early until you get confirmation. Do you see one on the Dow?
Not yet.
All right, let's go to the crude oil, see what it's saying today.
Just barely above the prior bar, but this bar, the red bar here, is
not there yet. It needs to get above that red bar.
47,555.
Say that again, John. They can't hear you. I can't. You said something about a number.
47,555.
47,555. I'd set an alert. Okay. Let's look at crude oil. What about crude oil? Whoa, look at crude oil. Is that crude oil?
That's crude.
Crude open at 61.40. Where is it trading now?
61.40.
Right back to where it opened last night at resistance. That's going to be an interesting bar to watch. Go to gold. Gold. And gold's correcting. Silver. Silver. Treasury bonds. Y'all want to see what I define is stupid? Anybody want to see what I define as stupid? Okay. If you look at Treasury bonds, they've been declining since Fed Chairman Powell made the statement he could go either way in December. Does everybody see that? You know how much that cost the government and what he just did? We should have to pay it. I mean, so stupid of a comment, you know? Let the market decide. Goodness gracious, we don't need him deciding. Anyway, don't get me started. Okay, that's stupid though. All right, let's look at the VIX. Can you do the VIX on here?
We can do the VIX, but not the VIX futures on the roadmap.
All right, do the VIX.
I think that is $ VIX. I'll throw it to a daily. That's a 30-minute on the VIX. Here's a daily.
Okay, trending up a little bit. If you look at VIX futures, it's 131. It was up too, so it's backing up a little bit. Okay, that's good.
What do you have the VIX futures at? Like a 19 area or so?
Yeah, I got the VIX futures right now, Jonathan, at 1935. It opened at 1905. Okay,
Okay.
the measurement stick.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, now let's look at NVIDIA. Do the daily, Jonathan, if you will. Question, is it made a new high today over yesterday's high, Monday or Friday's high? That's the first step when you're going to do a probe. You're not buying a falling knife. You want to make sure it's covered. Is it in the top half of the previous day's bar? This is how you can get in at a price that should give you a target of a high of about 213, right? Is that the high? 213?
Yep. Yeah, 212, 213, right around there. Sure is.
All right, so if we get above 208.55, I'm going to do an option. Let's go to the Tasty Trade platform, please, and look at a December third week option and see what people would have to pay.
December 19th is the third week of December.
30 days after they report earnings. You know, how much does a stock climb if the earnings are good? About 45 days. Takes us through the end of the year. Okay, so we're in good shape there timing wise. All right. So, Jonathan, what would a Delta 50 that expires on December 19th cost me today?
About $13, $1,300 on a one lot.
Yeah, 1,300. Do you have a high and low today?
The high today is 1395 and the low today is 1210. So right in the
Okay,
middle.
1210 is low, 1395. Okay, it gives me some kind of range. Okay, now let's stay here. Say you don't want to put $1,300 in an option. If you want to put less in an option, you got a couple choices. Jonathan, if you do a 5 wide spread, how much do you pay?
Lowers it down to 220, $220 on a one lot.
220. So you can get in for 200 if you want to. You won't make as much money, but you don't risk as much. Everybody understand that concept? Say yes in the room if you understand. What if you don't? What if you're willing to pay a little bit more, but you don't want to pay 13 since I'm well within the size? What if we went out to a Delta 50 and add a 245, my target? What would you pay?
You pay about 1,000 per one lot, looks like.
So about $10, right?
Yep.
So, and where's the strike you're entering at?
That's 210, 245. 210.
So 210 to 245 would be $35, right? If I'm right on my target, minus the 10 you pay, you make $25. About 2.5 to 1 with that spread. Does everybody see that spread I'm talking about? Get in, sell it at 245 when it gets there. So you're putting up $1,000 on that big spread. You can put as little as 200 if you spread the one near term, okay? So a good probe would be one of those ranges. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Let's review for people. 200 straight out buy, you make more money, or you put up $1,300. 1,300 goes to 245. Type this into the chat room. I'll do the math approximately in my head. 213.45 would be $3,300, right? $100 an option, you make net 3,300 on a straight out buy. You'll make $2 to $5 roughly, probably only get 4. So let's just say 2 to 4, make $200 per option on the low risk one. Okay. On the one that's the 210, 245, you make $3,500 by putting up 1,000. That's the evaluation of those three. Does everybody understand what I just did? I gave you three different ways to play it. And the way to play it would be for NVIDIA to get above today 208.55, okay? That's your trigger. Does everybody understand this, what I'm doing here? If that's within your tolerance of risk. Now, if you only got $1,000 you're putting up, you probably want to do the $2 spread if you want to do it at all, right? Now, how many options would you have to buy to own 100 shares? Let's look at that. You'd have to buy 2 of those options. It'd be about $2,500 versus putting up, if you bought the stock at 210, you put up 20,000. That's a pretty good deal if you just want to be outright long NVIDIA, which I do. Does everybody like the way I've evaluated this strategy I gave you? Okay. Okay. I'll talk about the other ways to make money with options. I wanted to cover that today, where you have the overview. This is overview day. We're not typically on Monday, we don't put a lot of positions on. I am going to probe it if it goes above 208.55. Okay, it's currently 207.92. I think that was a good explanation. Write it out on paper, Mike. It always makes a lot more sense there. So let me review. So far today, the main thing I wanted to cover with you was NVIDIA is a screaming buy, if I'm right, going to 245, and how to play it in front of earnings November 19th. Strategies with options, long calls, direct, long call spreads, tight, $5 wide, long call to the target. Any questions about what I covered? Jonathan, I like the slides you put together.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, I guess let's go to the slide deck, Jonathan, and cover the 25-cent trader. The 25-cent trader, folks, is that we have a pre-release special offer. Now, what I love about this is it's a very time-consuming process to find these suckers. We've been able to put into a dashboard to spin these babies out 5 key times a month, 5 reports: unemployment, CPI, PPI, GDP, and PCE. I gave Nate the inside story how I find these babies, and he built this dashboard that we're going to release 7 to 10 days. But in between now and then, write this down if you join me. This Thursday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to meet with you, okay? That's what you got to do. This is a software, Donna. You get a heavy discount because you have lifetime, but it's if you're a medallion, you don't have to pay, but you will have to pay for the software. I mean, y'all want me to keep it up, right? In other words, if I got to pay somebody to keep this thing vibrant, I got to pay to have that done. You can't give software away. I wish I could. I can't. Too many hands in the pie. Okay, it's a nominal charge, but it's worth it when you find out what I'm going to do. I'm doing a master class on this. Okay, a master class this Thursday. Okay, and the master class on Thursday is going to be the criteria that was put into the dashboard, where you'll have a full understanding how to find this on Thursday. Okay. And we'll do it at 10 o'clock. Jonathan, I've changed my mind. Do it at 10:30 Thursday. Would you mind? 10:30 Thursday? Let's do it at 10:30. It gives me time to watch the first hour. Maybe we'll have a trade and pay for the thing. Okay? 10:30 Thursday, November the 6th. Laura, you'll buy the short term, which is the 210. You'll buy the 210 call, sell the 245. If NVIDIA goes above 2855, you want to probe it, okay? Now, the pre-release special, until we hit 99 people, you can buy it for $12.47. It's a lifetime. Meaning I'll keep it current as we go forward if you go for the lifetime deal for the elite members, okay? All right. You go to dtitrader.com/25 cents or call 904-706-3532. All right, let's keep going. Is that all I'm covering before we play the tape?
Yeah, we got
Guys,
the replay. Yep.
if I told you how much time it took to find these suckers, and I now have a software that's going to serve it up to you, I'm so excited about the dashboard. I'm going to play a real part. Nate can build the boundaries, but I'm going to check it out as soon as he gets it done to make sure it works the way it should work. You know, sometimes programmers don't get it quite right, but Nate's a sharp guy. I bet he did. These are not day trades. In fact, it's going to do more. You know, typically I keep it simple. I will focus on one index, but we got 4 to focus on with the special deal. Okay. Vernon, if you're there Thursday, I'm going to give you a trade for showing up. How you like that? Yeah, that's right, Lynn. Jonathan, I think we ought to play it and read it, and then I'll type in here if I probe while I'm with you live today, okay? Now, if you're in my Futures First tonight, I got a real special thing I'm doing. If you're a member of Futures First, who's a member of my Futures First? Be sure you're in there tonight at 7. I work with Jonathan and got it. Yeah, let me tell you, I love the 25-cent trade. It's just the fact that you got to have what I would call, it's going to tee it up for us. I'm pretty good. Straight calls, straight puts. Simple, straightforward. Really all or nothing bets. Jonathan, we're in Genesis right now. I did not do a futures trade last night, Rob. It didn't set up. I let it go. I'll do one tonight. Any other questions before I turn it over to the staff here and we play what I think is a pretty good presentation? You tell me. Let's let them hear it. How are you going to trade the third quarter market rally using the same method, seen lightning fast doubles, even triples? I have a strategy for this. Now, the profits and performance shown are not typical of any one individual subscriber. We make no future earnings claim. You may lose money. Every trade has a risk factor. You got to know that. Develop tools and strategies to best of our ability, but no one can guarantee the future. There's always a risk of loss when trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. We cannot guarantee any specific future results, as there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. A lot of things can go wrong. You've had it happen to you. It's happened to me. But what I learned was from the school of hard knocks. Now, in trading, there's going to be losers. There's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades. The whole purpose of our research is give you an edge. When it comes to getting an edge, you listen to what I teach you, you listen and show up, you will improve as a trader. I've been doing this a lot of years, and I learned what to say, how to say it, and to help you along no matter what stage you're in, whether you're new or whether you're an advanced trader. Now, thanks to a recent breakthrough in AI, our full stack development team, technology investors like we've never seen before, and well over $100,000 that we pay for these data feeds each year, we've unlocked an unmatchable potential for a single quarter and transforming it into what might be the most powerful trading tool in the entire market. You see, well, most folks are paying big prices for options, and I do it too, or even more to trade popular stocks like Apple, Nvidia, or Microsoft. I'm doing it, especially Nvidia and Apple. I've discovered a new way to tap into what could be some of the cheapest options on the market. Nobody pays attention to these. Trades that only cost a quarter. Now, how many here would like a trade they bought for a quarter to pay on an option? Well, this is what this is about. Focusing on an area of the market no one knows how to use. By entering on certain predetermined dates, we'll be able to watch these 25-cent trades double or even triple in what feels like no time. Like in January, 182% gain on a 25% player. Now, here's the beautiful thing about it. You can set the level of commitment based on dollars. So if you took $1,000, how many of these options would you own? I want you to do the simple math and stay with me. Okay? If you took $1,000, how many of these options could you own? That's right, 40 is the answer. 40 is the answer. And the triple in March, 214 gain, not bad. And now, I don't like to brag, you know that. I try not to be cocky, but I am confident because I've seen it work. And this is hardly the first time I've done anything like this. Going back to 1992, this is something that sets me apart. I was on one of only 50 professionals to be handpicked by the CME to receive my own Globex terminal, which was the front runner to electronic trading. There were only 50 of these machines issued outside of Chicago. I had one. Very fortunate. I think I had the 50th one, to be honest about it. Been involved in very successful firms over my career that have been bought out by bigger and better firms, for example, Morgan Stanley. And while I've been very selective who gets access to these 25-cent trade alerts, my students that have access to them have been raving about them. Like John said, he loves the approach of 25 cents. He loves to go where other people don't look. If you got a small account, it's the way to get a big account. I love the fact he can trade more than a couple of contracts. Makes him feel like Mr. Big. How about 4 times your money on one recently? Yeah, we got it. Making money with 25-cent options. So if you had $1,000, think of it this way. How much would you have after that? What did Jim have after that? If you had 1,000 in, how much would he have? See how this works? Straight calls, straight puts. Straight calls, simple, straightforward. Not day trades, but straight calls, slip put. How about what old Carlos said? 5 times his original investment. He's got 5,000. That's right. Now, if you're trying to guess the specific opportunity behind these 25-cent trades, hang tight, because we're not talking about trading penny stocks. We're not talking about risky earnings plays. Not talking about naked options or anything like that. We're talking about straightforward. Buy this option and sell it at a higher price in the simplest form. Trade the most basic form of call options available. The 25-cent trade is set the day before one of these predetermined dates. They happen during the month. These dates do. They're based on reports. And boy, they're going to really come hot and heavy. That's why we wanted to focus on it at night. That's where the magic happens. So something that we never thought we'd actually do. For the longest time, I wouldn't touch these options, but then I figured out an angle to do it, and I do it 5 times a month. And that's because these type of speculative options typically lose money. Most of the time they would. My whole perspective on this shifted 180 degrees when I found the trigger, and I got the trigger. Because only trading these 25-cent options are very specific, determined dates. We have a shot to jump in, like a 78% shot here on a full back test, for example, like back in January, as the S&P kicked off this year, it was roaring higher. By mid-January, at new highs, and folks were left guessing when the next breakout would happen. Now, if you spent all your time figuring that out, you probably wasted a little time. None of that really mattered on January 10th. It took about 30 seconds to set one of these low price options, very carefully chosen, that paid huge. 194% gain. 1,000 turned into how much money? You see where I'm going with this? I put the odds in our favor by my setup. being very disciplined and very careful. As great as that sounds, it gets even better. January 11th, the next day, was marked on the calendar a 23-cent option, 264%. Now we're talking, right? That could have been enough to triple investment on one trade, $500 investment each of these trades. $2,300 in profit approximately, and when cashed out. That's what you're looking for. Power trading brought to you firsthand 5 times a month. That might not sound like life-changing sum of cash, but it's definitely no chump change. Especially if you've got a small account, you got a chance to grow it. As a matter of fact, the average Joe spends about $6,700 a month. That's pre-tax to pay his expenses. Now, if the average monthly expenses for American family had gone up at $8,450, that's average, there's a $1,746 loophole. You got to come out with a better way to make it. Most people are sliding backwards financially, and things are unaffordable. But with these back-to-back 25-cent trades, you got a little bit of extra help. $2,300 profit come after taking only 2 trades. That's what happened in January. Notice the percentage of success, very high. 3x times the amount of money we put up each time, including 4 double-digit wins. Now, as great as these returns are, I got much more in store for you. Thanks to our recent breakthrough in AI, our team has made technological advancements like we've never seen before. Unleashed an automatic trading program that spots these predetermined dates. It now automatically gives you the best matching options if you want to follow along. Folks, we've taken it with technology. My strategies has been programmed. You see where I'm going with this? Where all you have to do is have it and work it. Just a moment, I cover all the details behind it. It's probably wondering what's going on. What are these predetermined dates that allow these 25% trades? Plus a handful of you be able to grab a password protected calendar and be able to use it as you go to your next trade. But I've got to be frank. I'm typically not a directional swing for the fences type trader like this, but with technology, it makes me one. That's because, as you know, and as I've showed you, all trades have wins and losses. And typically, even the best swing for the fences strategy are not this higher percentage. And if you know me, then you know I don't like to take big risks. I am a grinder in the business. I grind out win after win because I keep my expectations nailed down. That's why I built my career focused on high accuracy opportunities in and out with my usual approach. And how does that help some top students reach jaw-dropping goals like 135% for Fannie O, five wins for him, or Laura made $2,200 in profit, 9 trades. So far, Denise says she's only had winning trades. Up until now, shooting for 10 to 20% profits over and over again with a incredibly high win rate. But today, I'm finally pulling back the curtain. You'll see, thanks to these predetermined dates, my team and I have discovered, we found a method that can, at the same time, help give us the safety of these high accuracy style trades. You can't trade them every day. There's about 5 times a month you can do it, and I'll show you how. While at the same time giving you unlimited upside on some of these short-term moves. A combination of win rate plus upside makes it worth your attention to pay attention. And simply follow along with these predetermined dates listed in the calendar. The 25-cent trades, go for that double, even triple, extremely fast. And you know, the next day after the big report, the win and loss is there. Doesn't pay, you get out and use that money for another. For example, like the very next 25-cent trade opportunity in January, searching the internet, trying to find that one nugget out there, expert opinions on this or that. Anyone with their hands on our calendar knew that January 17th was that day. Clicked a few buttons in the account, set the trade, 101% gain on that one. Just check the calendar, place the trade. As long as the trade was entered on the date listed on the calendar before the market's closed. That's the key. You got to get it in the night before. Tune out all the herd, play this game with me. And now with the newest upgrade, you automatically get the best matching options for you. There's no guessing about it. This is a breakthrough for all the people that's part of it. Now you can get software to do what I was doing, but do it frequently, allowing you to place your trade without second guessing yourself or worried about knowing when to exit. Just relax and enjoy your life or do whatever you want to. Like I did, throwing that football with my grandkids. We're going golfing. Oh, I had a great golf game today. And if everything worked out, watch his initial investment more than doubled in 24 hours. In this case, 2,500 turned into 5,000. That's a double in my book. This is now within your grasp because you will have what I have with 40 years of experience helping you get there. Now, I keep talking about these predetermined days. And how do they give you the exact minute to get in and lock in before the big move? I want to remind folks that now we don't have a magic 8 ball, can't predict the future. Just like with any strategy, there's going to be winners and losses along the way. Take a look at that chart there. What it's telling you is the market drones most of the time. Droning meaning it's just droning right along, correct? Okay. Notice what happens when it goes outside the line and you have a 1% movement. Big moves in options and underlying when that happens. When you look at the S&P percentage every day for the past 10 years, posted on the chart, this chart tells it all. Each individual dot represents a single day. Now, between these two lines is the number of days where S&P moved less than 1%. There's your key. You're trying to trade the days that are moving or have a greater chance to move more than 1%. And outside those two lines, these are the days where the S&P moves 1% or more. Everybody get the game? We're trying for that 1% move. Remember, the stock market will whine and grind 70% of the time. That means 7 out of 10 trading days, the market's stagnant, which means there's 3 out of 10 if you eliminate it down and increase your odds by picking the days most likely to occur. Now you got something to work with. Options eat up time decay, and that's why people lose money. No surprise that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange reported that 76% of options expire worthless. That's what you worry when you build a program like this. And then you figure out how to beat it. And that's why if you've been trading or invested for a while now, struggle to make consistent profit, watch the markets disintegrate while you're watching as your stock went up, you watch the market go higher and higher while your retirement account barely budged. It's not because you had a bad trader or simply not smart enough. You just didn't do it right. Doing it right, picking your days, having the discipline, setting your orders in to take your profits at your desired profit goal, that's the way you win with this. Majority of the time, stock market barely moves, and that's what crushes most trading accounts. However, if you can hone in on those big days, that's what we've been able to do, you can play these small price options for big moves. And you'll soon see these days will be some of the biggest moves in the stock market, not random at all. They match up with the reports that we use. And this is very important. I want you to listen to these words. If you take these trades, you're going to know about that particular option right after the report by looking at the index. What did I tell you? 75% of all stocks follow the indexes. These predetermined or week in advance when they plan these dates, a lot of people, I know this is something that's happened to me a lot trading options. Anybody ever sold an option and it went against you? I bet you didn't take into account you had that option open during one of these predetermined dates when you had a big report. Think about that. On these predetermined dates, we've seen these low price options double, even triple, sometimes overnight. Just like in February, biggest payday we've seen so far from the 25-cent trade. Interest rates, been a big topic, hadn't it? Fed had other plans. They decided to screw with us. Typically, that's news that would make you want to sell your stocks. But anyone that had the calendar with the February 21st date on there could have done this strategy. 25 cents in. Sure enough, very next day, look at that gain, 391% gain on that overnight move. That's what we're trying to get. Now, again, that's the biggest one we've seen so far. I'm not saying it'd be the biggest one in the future, but that's the biggest one we had. There's going to be big wins, small wins, and losers along the way. That's just how trading works. But today, we're going to hold that at bay. With every month, there's a handful of these reports published by the U.S. government can really move the market. You probably heard of some of them, like CPI, PPI, GDP. Unemployment, the biggest one of all, comes out on the first of the month. Let me ask you a question. Are we at the first of the month? Yes. We're about to go through a whole slew of these, especially with back reports, or to make it a very lucrative month once they get the government open. Now, these reports are typically published in the mornings before the opening bell. With the new dashboard, you get a countdown timer for the next event. And as the next event is on the horizon, it's right there. They'll set up the most lucrative trading days we've seen all year long for it. And be able to sit back and watch these low price options, sometimes even triple in a blink of an eye. Take a look at the next 25. It's going to organize how to do it. You're going to love it and show you which options to take. Let's say someone took a trade they paid 21 cents for. You had a big report that came your way, like the unemployment report. Bang, a gap up opening. Everybody's caught short. You're selling to all those losers. Well, you're a big winner and you're moving on. Everybody see how this works? You get a smile on your face, I know it. If you had invested 5,000 shares on an S&P on that move, cash, you'd have pocketed 150, not bad. But on a 25-cent option with that same starting stake, you would have seen $2,381 overnight. That's around 16x better than buying shares outright, and only 1/20th the cost per position. And based on what your beta testers have said, it seems challenging at all to take these trades. Tina and Peggy both got on it, love the 25-cent trade. They're easy to get in and out of, and they're usually profitable based on our qualifiers that we have. Now we got it in software. The 25-cent option is a low-risk, highly profitable trade. You want me to show you another example? It was the same exact case with the next setup on March 6th. Notice unemployment report, first of the month, marked on the calendar. Look at that. Falling north of 1% on the day. Now, I'm sure a lot of folks were still clear from the stock market on an ugly day like that. But we're not like most people. We're playing the odds. All you want to have to do is set the 25-cent trade before the market's closed on March the 8th. And that would have gotten folks in before the U.S. government published that newest jobless claim report. Maybe grab dinner with an old friend or relative. By the time the opening bell rang, 134% gain. Now, typically get a handful of these major economic reports each month, each one with their own specific, 5 minimum a week. You get a couple bonus trades on Fed days. In fact, these dates are so powerful, they make up almost all the opportunity in the stock market. Now you know it. You're going to be shocked when you see this chart. Look at that chart there. Everybody see that? That's the up climb we've been on all year. Everybody see it? What people don't realize is if you take out the major economic report dates I've been talking about and remove those from that upside activity, it dismantles the chart going from unstoppable bull to why options lose money right there. Everybody see that? That picture's worth 1,000 words, what I just showed you. You got to know about these dates. You got to know when they are, especially if you're an option trader. Trading outside these predetermined dates to the long side is a dangerous game and a fast track losing money if you're trading options. But by isolating these explosive dates, that's where the money's made, the big money, and that's why I've developed a special calendar with all these dates mapped out in advance. The software now automatically displays the best matching options to take before trade. Let's stop there and think about it with this software. It's going to do the work for you, tee it up, tell you when to show up, tell you where to get out, and now all you got to do is plug it in and make it work. The 25-cent trader just went mainline. All that's left to do is take that trade on the date shown, 54% gain, 152% gain, $10,867 in 24 hours on a small $2,500 stake. Maybe not to retire and leave money, but it would definitely be a nice buffer to pay maybe bills, planning your next vacation, or just saving for that rainy day. I have to admit, after seeing the actual power of these predetermined dates on the chart, the light bulb went off. Don't trade any other way, especially long calls, long puts. Now you might be wondering, can it go ahead and pick any option every time one of these dates pop up? No, it can't. If it's that easy, everybody would be able to do it. But what we developed is filters to tell you when it's there and when it's not. Gives us these edge on these dates. That is worth a fortune. Filter out the week's open, the month's high price, and our average trading range to determine the criteria if it's an enter to the up or enter to the down. Sort through the options to find the optimum expiration. The strike price always right around 25%, 25 cents per contract. And then we set the trade with outlined profit targets and stop loss levels. We do all the heavy lifting for you with the software. And honestly, it's a lot of work, but with the software, it makes it a lot easier. Basic call, basic put options when they set up. Any regular brokerage account can trade it, 401ks, IRAs if you want to. You don't need to wait for an alert from me or our team. As a matter of fact, with the recent upgrade, our breakthrough, the new dashboard we're releasing, you'll get it. And you not only get the events automatically on the web-based dashboard, with the click of a button, you get the full trade details. Dashboard automatically source options criteria listed for you, easy to follow. We'll be there to back you up, make sure you understand it. And if you want to copy and paste those details, you prefer brokerage, place the trade, let it go, set your target, let it go. And we've actually outperformed our testing so far with this approach. Monica said, 100% profit. She did good with the discretionary approach. Now you're going to have the software to level it out. Doug, 400% gain on a previous one. He likes the low risk, potential high reward. I do too, Doug. And David said he's had a lot of success with the 25% quick, clean results. Credible stories. I want to read your story when you do it. Now, we're going to limit the number of people who can get it, so you got to buy it, be part of it if you want to be part of it. 25-cent trader dashboard. We got a pre-release special offer. Let's get the next double or triple together. And once the tech team is done with the newest upgrades over the coming weeks, 25-cent dashboard will be there for you. Everything online, anywhere in the world to look at. 25-cent dashboard. You will have all new dashboard available to them for unrestricted use. Whoa, that's big. 25-cent dashboard is the only trade tool I know of, sources all the predetermined dates out, teases up for the high conviction opportunities one after another. Set it on autopilot, best days to do it, and do it. How many people that's been in the old program, love the old program, but love where the new level we're going to? Don't you love what I'm doing here with this new version of technology? It's just teed up for you. Unbelievable what we've been able to do. Release all the new 25-cent trader dashboard with the current. Here's your final chance to lock in your membership at today's price. Members immediately gain access to all new web-based program. No install needed, no code to download. Nothing on, get your password and go. Inside the members portal, you'll have one-click access to it. Take the full calendar. All the calendars get prepared. Watch the master classes that are set up, and we'll go live when we're ready to go to make sure you can see it for explosive trade. Next double, even triple, 25-cent trade alerts each and every week on average. Same economic events that I've been trading for years, and same trades I recommend to anybody who wants to listen. That's how I will read. On this case, it was the SPY. Tomorrow morning, talking about the jobless report, telling you which one to buy, the price to pay. Can't get any simpler than that. Gives you the ticker, tells you the analysis, tells you where to get in, All you have to do is copy the trade, like what you see, and you have a shot at what could be our next great win. 4,500 overnight on that one. I'd like to have a few of those and make sure that we always get instant access to the signals, alerts via email, cell phone, telephone. You won't miss it on these key dates if you're part of the membership. That way, whether you're at the beach with friends, out on the range, or I'm teaching a webinar, this thing goes off, we take it, you'll never have to miss out. The criteria is simple, but it's very detailed. Takes a lot of work to find these. The software does it for us and sets you up. Then you're all set. The next piece of membership, always shooting for optimum gains for avoiding holding on to losers too long. That's really the big benefit. The automatic exit plan, that becomes part of it. As a member, you'll get this. It'll tell you when to exit, time-wise on each report, based on the stats that we've done, and even include exclusive information about automatically help you protect against the downside movement. But not just that. I know some of you are newer to trading, may have never traded options before. You can't learn options any better. I'll put this out there. You can't learn how to trade options any better than follow what I teach you about options. Just ask the students. I'm not making this stuff up, folks. I've been doing it for 40 years. No spreads, no contours, nothing like this. A straight call, straight puts. The course is called Options Made Simple with Options. I put it together over 6 months. No matter what level of option you're doing, from basic to advanced, it's covered. And there's a reason I included it in this in-depth training. Since 2020 pandemic, we've seen these major economic reports only become more and more impactful. We know the dates. We got it listed. The 25-cent trades will tee it up for you. Like Rhonda, she loves it. She popped in, small account friendly, risk small, great reward. Or Bruce, 25 cents in less than 24 hours turned in. Sue likes to have fun doing it. Must have been a cheerleader in high school, right? Wahoo! Before today's big announcement, I typically let my personal set at $69.97 in the past. The members are going to get all the new dashboard too, which is easily a $5,000 value, no questions asked. And consider how much energy, time, and money we put in this thing. We'll charge twice as much as that if we wanted to, but we decided to do something fun, get everybody involved, cut it in half to $34.97. Now, if you join today, we're going to hook you on a special offer. We got, you'll also be grandfathered in for the big dashboard upgrade at no extra cost. We're allowing 99 people. This is the final call if you want it. After that, we're cranking up the price. But hang tight. It's about to get even better. With the special bonus lined up, the Lifetime Elite Member Discount, which means we'll knock $1,000 off the price of the membership immediately. $34.97 1 year is a heck of a deal. $24.97 for life is a steal. Drop the link, Adam. Drop the link. Let's see how many people want it. But it won't run you that. The 25-cent trader with the software, ground running. Options extremely affordable, 25 cents, no higher. Lap ahead of everybody else. Your first 50 trades are on me. 50 times that takes it down another $12.50. $12.47 for the lifetime deal. Pretty cool. Only good for members who jump in right now. Read my emails about the epic results we're getting with new members. Don't procrastinate. Take one of the discounted memberships for yourself. With this crowd, where they ought to go. Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents. Call 904-706-3532. Click the link in the chat. There it is. Adam's got it in there, dtitrader.com/25 cents. The pre-release special is out tonight. Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents. Pretty good stuff. There's a 25-cent trade in at 27, out at 49. I'll take that all day long. 1666 overnight. Take it down, take it down, take it down when the 99 hit. Only 99 at this price. We're raising the price, obviously, after this. So once the 99 are gone, dtitrader.com/25 cents. Pam said you make up ground fast doing that. 4x times 25. Greatest account ever for Patrick. I love it, these stories. There are a lot of risk, a lot of reward, but if you do it correctly, you're following a disciplined approach to taking advantage of these 5 big reports. Grab your membership tonight, 25-cent trade. If you have any questions about it, you can call our customer service team. They'll be glad to help you and show you how to get where you need to go. So definitely do that. If you need any questions answered, and they're open from 10 to 1 Monday through Friday. Any questions at all if you got any. How much money is needed? Well, all the trades are about 25 cents. That's 25 bucks is the minimum purchase on one of these options. Wherever trade be a winner. I want to make sure everybody understands this. Of course not. Every trade's not going to be a winner. No strategy wins 100% of the time. But folks, play from the smart side of the ballpark. That's it. Can you trade this in an IRA or 401k? Yes, it's retirement account friendly. Absolutely. Oh man, I can't wait. What are the system requirements for new dashboards? Since it's web-based dashboard, all you need is an internet connection. That makes it simple. Password to get in, no software or separate installation required. And as you remember, not only going to get the events automatically on a web-based dashboard, with the click of a button, get the full trade details. The dashboard automatically source the option criteria and list it for you in an easy to follow format. So you can copy and paste the details in your preferred brokerage and everything looks good. You place the trade. So what's a 25-cent trade? Well, you'll find out. We got reports coming and people in the program will get it. Now, 99 spots. Once we hit that number, price is going up. I can't believe it did it this low, Adam. I just still can't believe that. Or you can call 904-706-3532. Take one of the slots, get part of it, get the training under your belt because they're about to pop. There's going to be a lot of reports to take advantage of with this software. So, any questions outside the ones I covered? Adam, what a great choice with everything happening around us. What a great choice to talk about. I'm glad, thank the team for getting it done. Great question. Oscar says, do you send text message alerts? What is the approximate open trading window time? The window opens an hour prior to the day of the big report, the day prior. That way it's not a day trade. You put it on and you know the answer by 8:30 the next morning on that particular report. Usually have at least 2 shots with each option you take, 2 reports based on expiration